Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see about the proxy and reverse proxy. We often hear the terms that proxy is this, proxy is that, and it is the work of reverse proxy. So today we are going to look about all the things which is happening currently in the proxy and the reverse proxy. So basically, the proxy and reverse proxy, the word often comes from the daily lives. Suppose if you are not present in the class and you want to mark your attendance, so you tell your friend that please mark my proxy. So your friend is marking your proxy or marking your attendance on your behalf. So your friend is acting as a proxy. So uh, proxy is a stand-in for someone else. Okay, and the for example, the authority to stand in for or represent someone else, the authority to stand in or represent someone else, or giving permission to someone else to take action on your behalf is called proxy. Okay. Now, suppose if one more example we can take in the daily life, suppose you authorize someone to take healthcare decisions on behalf of you. So that person is the proxy for your healthcare decisions. Okay. In terms of internet, suppose you are working in a company, and you cannot access the internet. So you type in some web address and then you can easily access the internet. Okay, now that web address is the proxy. It is acting on your behalf as a client to the internet servers. Okay, so this is all about the theoretical part of proxy. Now let us see the image. Suppose this is your local internet, your company internet. Okay, and employee 1, employee 2, employee 3. Now uh, suppose employee 1 make a request to fetch some information from the from the Google, that what is proxy. It just type this question in the Google search engine and it send the request to the internet. Now it is sitting in a local network, that's what we call intranet. Now from intranet that request goes to the proxy, and then proxy further investigate that URL and pass it to the internet. Okay, now after internet, yeah, the internet proceed that URL to the further server from which we fetch the information. After fetching the information, the response comes back again to the proxy. In this case, proxy is a kind of VM only, it is a virtual machine only. And then again, this proxy uh, pass the uh, this proxy pass the collected response from the internet via server back to the requested client. Okay, so this is how work. Now this internet or this server doesn't know in intranet which computer has requested this URL, whether it is 1, 2, or 3. So this proxy work as a firewall. For the intranet or local net environment. Also, it assures the better management, it assures the security. It is also used for the purpose of caching. Now suppose this response comes to the proxy. Now proxy, if it is a static file, then proxy, it is more possible that proxy might have stored it in its cache. And when again someone requests the same URL, then proxy will not go to the internet, it will just return the same response which it has got earlier from the server back to the requested client. Okay, so this how caching helps in better management, and it is also used for a caching, and it is also for encryption and decryption. So suppose you want to send or receive some data, then due to some we can say there might be some hacker here, who is just monitoring your URL. So before sending URL, it will encrypt it. Now your hacker will get the encrypted URL. So before it can decrypt it, proxy will send the request, get the response, and send response back to the requested client. So this whole thing will be done, and a hacker might be in the process of decrypting it. So it is quite that's why we call it works as a firewall, as it protects the local environment. So in this case, this is the proxy. This VM is the proxy. Similarly, let us talk about the reverse proxy. Now consider yourself as a server. Okay, consider yourself as a server. Your company has a 3 server, and you work in Google. Okay, and you have uh, put your data in different machines. Okay, now now client now clients requested some URL, suppose www.google.com, through the internet. Then it will come to your server, but before coming to your server, it will go to the reverse proxy. Now what is reverse proxy? Reverse proxy is also a VM, and it decides to which VM we should redirect this URL, whether it will be 1, or it will be 2, or it will be 3. And then according to the uh, respective VM, it will send it to the servers, and then after getting the response, it will send back the response to the internet. Now, reverse proxy helps to protect our internal servers. It helps in zipping the URL. Suppose many have requested the URLs. Now, it can't just send the URL on its own. It will try to look into it. It will try to judge it whether it should not be DDoS or anything else. That's why it protects it, and it zips the same URL and then send to the different VMs. Similarly, now here the question comes whether reverse proxy is a load balancer. Yes, it can be a load balancer, but it is not necessary that reverse proxy will always be a load balancer. Okay, so this is all about proxy, reverse proxy, and the difference between reverse proxy and load balancer. Thank you. See you in the next video.